make sure they keep Caitlin Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize what they done. You can't minimize what Maya Moore or Candace Parker or Lisa Leslie or Lauren Jackson or Diana Taurasi or Simone Augustus or any of the other great players. That Caitlin Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done, but we should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings, we saw the merchandise sales, we saw the attendance, but y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is box office. She's doing this. And instead of giving her credit, y'all tried to make it about, oh, y'all poo-pooing the old guard. Y'all never talked about the old guard like this. Nah, I ain't gonna let it slide. Caitlin Clark, unanimous rookie of the year. But what's even more impressive, she's first team WNBA. First.
Everybody can shine. Her success ain't got nothing to do with other players. It's like, why they're focusing on just diminishing what she has done. Give the girl her flowers, but she done did great things for this league. This is a very, very good thing, a positive, that everybody just need to come together and make this league great.
Let's put this in its proper perspective. When I think about Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude. There's an incredible level of gratitude that should be accorded to this young lady with what she did for the sport.
How was the attendance for Team USA in the Olympics? What would it have been like if Caitlin Clark was playing on that team? Remember the first game? Look at this right here. National broadcast viewership. What are we talking about here? 1,000, what is that? 1.219? Is that the number? And the game afterwards got 485,000. So the Fever in their game against the Minnesota Lynx was 1.219 million on Ion.
Numbers literally don't lie. It's strictly in your face right here. The Fever, bro. They were the worst team in the league last year. Did not make the playoffs. This chick shows up. They make the playoffs, and they're the most watched team in the league. And they're not even the best team in the league.
Caitlin Clark single-handedly is responsible for the WNBA mattering this season. Let's look at some of the ratings, right? Because this is her first playoff game, her debut, Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun, raking in 1.84 million viewers. Game 2, this was an elimination game, so season on the line here. Damn. Raking in even more viewers, 2.54 million.
You can't deny her impact and the contribution that she had on this league this season, bro. 2.5 million views in game 2, her last game this season in the playoffs. And ever since she got eliminated, those views went down.
No woman that I've seen has ever been able to jump shoot, wrist flick logo threes, Steph-like threes, like Caitlin Clark can.
Well deserved. She averaged 21.9 points, 10.5 assists per game. In that span, she recorded at least a dozen assists 9 times. That span also included a WNBA record 19 assists on July 17th against the Dallas Wings.
Right.
And assists, obviously, are passes when they equal or when they lead to buckets for your team. So to be able to have her in that spot where it's not like she's worried about getting all of the points herself.
And that's the crazy part too, that people don't talk about that part of her game. They just think of her as a shooter and just scoring. But Shorty be dishing the rock too, yo. Don't get that misconstrued. She be passing it as a rookie and got them to the playoffs. Even though they got swept, they ain't never been in the playoffs for years now, to my knowledge. The Indiana Fevers hadn't been to the playoffs in years now, and this rookie got them there, while making them the most watched team in the league.
Ratings, I believe 2 Sundays ago with Caitlin Clark, she drew 1.8 million viewers on an NFL Sunday.
That's
this
ridiculous.
past NFL Sunday, Asia Wilson drew 900,000 viewers, which that was the Aces Liberty game. That's actually 300,000 more than I thought. I thought it would drop to around 600,000. I really do. And I think moving forward, I think that number is going to, as the playoffs continue on, I think that number is going to continue to come down.
So AJ Wilson just got eliminated just now. So those views are even go way down. But let's speak about the 900,000 he's talking about. He thought it was going to be 600,000. Maybe those 3 other 100,000 came with Caitlin Clark and fans noticing the WNBA.
Who were absolutely positively fantastic in helping to build the WNBA, did not receive the shine, the acclaim, the allure, the attention, the marketing, and everything else with it that they richly deserve.
Her first playoff game, drawing 1.84 million viewers. Ridiculous numbers. The highest rated playoff game since game 2 of the 2000 WNBA finals. This wasn't even just an opening round game back in 2000. This was one of the finals games. So this clearly is showing how much of an impact Caitlin Clark is having. A total of 22 WNBA games clocked north of 1 million viewers. That surpassed the standing record of 15 games set in 1998. The Indiana Fever, remember, Caitlin Clark was drafted first, which means last year they were the worst team in the WNBA. It did not matter because this season they were the most watched team in the league.
So we all know the worst team in the league gets the #1 pick. They drafted Caitlin Clark, and now all the views went up, and they got to make the playoffs because of this one lady. And people got a problem with her, and she has not said anything at all. By the way, she's been keeping it smooth, positive. She ain't said a pick.
How come she not, denouncing racism, and how come she's not? And I'm like, she will when she learns. How long does it take a woman to find her voice in this world? She grew up in Iowa. She's 22 years old. I'm not caping for her, but I'm like, she didn't have the experience to speak on that. Remember when LeBron wasn't speaking on Black Lives Matter and all these other issues, and they held him accountable, and he finally said, okay, I have something to say. And you gotta be educated and you gotta be comfortable before you start talking about it. And she's getting there, and she'll be even better as the years come along. But
well, valid point, but does she have to talk though? Does she have to? Why does she have to say anything? Like the Joker, bro, just here to play ball. Then once he finishes the season or win his championship, he's going back to Serbia with his horses. He don't want to entertain this media stuff. For example, let's say somebody bigger, MJ. People have problems with MJ not speaking out on issues. All MJ wanted to do was smoke his cigar and gamble his money away.
Caitlin and Angel, are they required to talk about anything other than basketball? Do we need them to? Do we need Caitlin or Angel to speak out about anything? Racism, sexism, do we need them to? I don't know if we need them to. Listen, we in this world we live in today, you don't have that luxury.
Get what she's talking about, but no, Caitlin Clark is not obligated to say anything, bro, in my opinion. Maybe I'm too naive and too ignorant. I just don't feel like she's obligated to say anything, because she didn't start this conversation. She didn't start this narrative. Like, she just want to come in, play ball, collect the checks, and go to Europe and play some golf. So I don't feel like this player is anybody. Angel Reese, anybody. Yeah, if you want to speak about it and you feel educated enough and passionate enough to talk about it, yeah, you can.
When you are the most sought after, the most talked about, okay, well, welcome to the league. Let me show you what this is. Candace Parker, we always give this example. Candace Parker's rookie year, she got a 2-piece. They had her on the ground. They were beating her, like literally trying to beat her up. And it was at benches. Everybody got off the benches. Lisa Leslie got pushed down. No one ever talked about it. And then you're talking about Caitlin Clark, and you're like, oh, they poked her in the eye. They stabbed her in the eye. Oh, they're just so mean to her. What game have you been watching?
I get what she's saying, but she's forgetting these are new fans, new eyeballs, younger generation. They used to seeing Steph Curry, that freedom to just shoot, not being poked in the eye, not being shoved. They're used to seeing that now. It's not like back in the day when we were seeing like people having fights like Dennis Rodman, Malice in the Palace. It's not those days no more. They're not used to that style of play. They're new to the league.
They minimize what Maya Moore or Candace Parker or Lisa Leslie or Lauren Jackson or Diana Taurasi or Simone Augustus or any of the other great players. That Caitlin Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done, but we should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings, we saw the merchandise sales, we saw the attendance, but y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark.